We're back.
You're back.
I'm back. Well, go on, everyone. Welcome to News Daily. It is, what day is it? Thursday, yeah?
Thursday.
Hope everyone is well. We got some, when I say exciting news, I mean, there is some positive news. Kolasinac, injury update. You know?
Where's he at? What's the update?
He might be available. He's coming back. I've got it here. Hold on, let me start. We'll start with that.
When did he get injured?
Injury is not as bad as first feared. It's been reported. The Arsenal defenders expect to be back. Yeah, it's supposed to be the Arsenal defenders expect to be back in action by the end of the international break. He must have got injured, in the international break. So, but you know, he's going to come back nice and fit and healthy.
Oh, I'm surprised he's still here. That's the bit. Listen, we've got a week left. We can sell to Turkish clubs and Russian clubs.
But yeah, but he might be needed. He might be needed, Turkish. He played in a Man City game. I was so shocked that he was even in the squad. But to start against Man City, it's clear that he might be in Arteta's plans. We might even see more of him this season.
I'm not going to disagree with you because it doesn't. That is the reality, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that we loaned. In January, we left ourselves without a backup left back. That's how. That's how the club saw Kolasinac. Like, we just need to kind of let him go now. So we left the club without a backup left back. Yeah. And then we started the next season with him back in the side and in a starting 11 as well. You know, that's another example of the madness that kind of sums up Arsenal Football Club right now. Yeah, it's all over the place right now. I was gonna do a proper intro actually and ask you, how are you? Like, we didn't really get to do the proper. Everything good? You good? Yeah, man. Everything's alright. Yeah.
And obviously you was out last night outside. I was out outside last night.
Yeah, a little premiere. Yeah. I missed the classic shirts event. It looked alright.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I can't lie, people. If you haven't seen on the AFTV socials, we got invited to a classic shirt event. Ian Wright was there. Paul Gascoigne as well. Couple legends in the building. Robbie was there with them. I count him as a legend as well. It was like he was a footballer there as well. People were coming up to him so much. But it was a good event, man. There was some real classic tops, and it pains me that they weren't selling them because not that obviously some you got to hold on to, but I would have wanted to buy some of the tops they had there. They had loads.
You got to shout Rocky Nico, man.
Yeah, it's true.
Tell him what you need, and sooner or later get it in.
That's true. But it was a good event. There was a lot of people in the YouTube scene there. A lot of people in the sports media scene as well. It was nice. It was nice to be back outside. And you went to a premiere. So you know, we went to a film premiere.
Rise of the Foot Soldiers Origins. So yeah. I like them movies. Listen, the original Rise of the Soldiers is a classic in the UK. Obviously, I don't know how big it is outside of the UK, and we've got a lot of people outside the UK here. But yeah, it's a classic in the UK. I love them type of movies, and yeah, they ended it well. They wrapped it up well because apparently that's the last one. So.
Oh, okay. I see. Amazing. It's nice. It's been nice. It's nice to be back outside, shall we say? We're back getting invited to places and going to events. But let's head back to news. There's a lot of news to speak about today. This is one. Arteta's comments basically leading to a formation change. Yeah, mine was up high as well.
Yeah, what's going on here, man?
Mine started up here. I was like, bro, what's going on?
I was looking at myself.
Who was in it? Robbie and Chris Hudson yesterday.
Yeah.
These man, where are you sitting up? They must be sitting.
It's mad, isn't it?
Chill off a little piece, you two, man. It's too high on the armchairs. I'm putting mine down a bit further. Quickly, so yeah, Arteta's formation change. He's hinted at it in some comments. Arteta's comments on Tomiyasu's capability to play in a back three may hint on the Spaniards' plans to move back to a 3-4-3 system.
Do you know what's mad about that, though? Again,
go on. What position? Because there's
no. Tomiyasu's cool. Like, I don't know much about him. I've heard good things, and mainly good things from people who watch it. So that's cool. We'll see. But what I don't get is Arteta saying now 3-4-3 is what he wants to do, or is he saying now he can deploy it if he needs it? Because apparently today we played a friendly against Brentford, and we'll get into that. Apparently it was a 3-4-3. Last two games, League Cup against West Brom, Man City game, it's been a 3-4-3. Yeah. And my thing is, if you're going to go with a 3-4-3, then surely a central midfield position, it was a priority anyway.
But now it's
But surely it should have been a bigger priority then, because then you kind of take one less person out of the attacking four, let's say.
Yeah.
So even the purchase of Odegaard then is a bit contrary to that formation, and unless you're looking to utilize him in the middle, but then Odegaard or Partey would never work in the middle.
No, it wouldn't work.
So I'm still like curious to see what the hell Arteta's kind of trying to do.
Partey and Lokonga in that middle, but even that, where's the creativity?
That's the most intriguing, because we don't know, and we want to see both of them play, and we want them to kick on. So that's the most intriguing. But would
Lokonga be the box to box for you, or would he be the one sitting? If
to be honest, I don't know. I think they're quite similar from what I see so far. So between them, they can make that decision. I'd probably say Partey protects, because with the experience he has and the knowledge of the game and you know the Diego Simeone in him. Let's not forget he's been managed by a top manager for 6-7 years prior to his move to Arsenal. So I think he can be Lokonga's protector there. But then at the end of the day, we still needed options, especially if we're going with a 3-4-3. With two men in the middle, you need strong options and different options, and we don't have that. And then January is going to come. Elneny, if he doesn't move in the next few days, and Thomas Partey go to African Cup of Nations. So we're literally left with Granit Xhaka and Lokonga. Yeah. But I know they're going to bring in Ainsley Maitland-Niles there and say that's our third choice, central mid them times. It's just going to happen.
That annoys me, because I think Robbie spoke about this yesterday. He spoke to a representative of Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and that thing that he said he wants to play in midfield was just a passing comment. He said he would be happy to play anywhere. And I spoke with I'm not going to say representative, but someone very close to Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and he said he went to Arteta and had a meeting and said, I want to fight for that full-back position, that right-back position is where I want to play. And that whole week, Arteta did shape, and he was playing in the midfield in training. And it's like, I've told you I want to play. Stop playing me then. As a player, that must be so frustrating. And obviously that led to, I'm sure many of you saw the comments on social media put on his story, and that it led to him being exiled out from the squad in training. He's putting down with the youngsters, which for a player is heartbreaking. I had a few isms and schisms when I was a player, and I got sent down to the youth team from the first team. It's not the one. You feel like you don't. Do you know what it is? You don't know how to react, because they expect you, if you not misbehave, if you don't take it serious, you don't then get a chance to go back to the first team, and then you get labelled as bad attitude. He's not taking it serious. And then if you play serious, it's hard to do that when you're in a mindset of like, well, why am I even here? You're not taking a mick. So I feel for Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
He played today, apparently.
He played today. I don't know the full 11 for that game today, but it's good that he played today. Hopefully, we do see him, because for me, still Cedric's a number one right back for me.
I think it's central midfield today.
Oh,
Listen, it gets more confusing as we move forward, mate. I'm telling you, it's not going to stop. We've got a couple comments I want to get in here. Jean Ren says, Turkish, I think the 3-4-3 is only a secondary formation to give the players a lift, in brackets change, after the bad run of form. Potentially. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. Because that would make a lot more sense. I think if it's a secondary formation we can turn to if need be, depending on the opposition. Okay, cool. But I still expect the 4-2-3-1, especially against Norwich, especially against Burnley. I'd expect to see what I've thought Arteta wants to do, and that's a 4-2-3-1.
He makes a good point there, though. He makes a good point. It might be just to get the confidence back and a run of form, because I mean we haven't scored yet, and something's got to change. If the manager's not going to change, we need some new answers.
Robbie here says need to get some old backbone into this club. Men like David O'Leary. Well, legend. When Arteta and Edu come in, David O'Leary was being talked about, and I believe the reason David O'Leary didn't happen as it was some sort of ambassador or in some role is because he wanted to be a board member. He wanted to have a say, and as we know at Arsenal Football Club, they don't really want real Arsenal men to have a say. Sorry, I just lost the chat there. Let me just go back to it. Too many bandwagon men involved. Edu, one of them, get out now. And he says Edouard to Palace. I guess that being an example of a good transfer that's happened this summer. Well,
it's a tough one. It is a tough one, because he's right in what he says about too many. What do you say? I guess the puppets really, or yes men. But then I asked you when you're like, we need Conte, and all the fans are saying we should get Conte. But then, like I asked you, if we have the same owner, Conte won't come in, one, because he's not a yes man, and if he comes in, then you got a question: are the Contes changing, or is Conte going to become a yes man?
No, he'll never do that. Not for Arsenal. Not from his
history. I know from his history he hasn't done that. But that's what it's kind of coming down to. Until they go, it's just going to be A long line of yes men.
We got another super chat here saying, so much talk on tactics. Did any of you think of the false nine strategy during the Europa semi? No, that's why you lot ain't Arsenal managers and Mikel is the game changer. But I know Stress and his usual
Stress
comments.
Is a regular. He's funny still. We got Stress.
Yeah, come on.
He's funny with his super chats, these comments. And again, remember Turkish, right? We're speaking about, yesterday, Chris Hudson and Robbie asked him, give me your strongest 11, and they struggled with it because they just struggled. Because
Robbie asked who?
Chris Hudson.
Yesterday. Okay.
With everyone fit, and they were talking about we never know what Arteta's going to go with. And I don't know if you probably guys don't remember unless you're regulars of been watching for a long time. But there was a time last season I offered £10 bank transfer, stood it on my mum's life. I said, "Yep, if you guys can predict the starting 11 for the upcoming game, I'll transfer you £10." Not what there was hundreds and hundreds of comments. Not one person predicted the lineup. That is how mad it is. And Robbie said I should do it again, but it's my money, so I'm not doing it again for the Norwich game because obviously we don't know if Kolasinac is going to play.
You could do it and it'd be the same result anyway. That's the deepest thing.
Serious?
You don't even know what formation we're going to go with first and foremost. So
word.
It all depends.
Yeah. So that's just how ridiculous it's gotten. That no one knows what to expect, and some people would say that's a benefit to the side because the other manager won't know what we're playing. But
I'm surprised that what was the question? Strongest 11 or the 11 we want to see?
No, I think it was the strongest 11.
Because this question gets asked around a lot. Strongest 11, like we don't know our strongest 11 because we haven't been strong in a long time.
Yeah, we haven't seen it.
So how can we know our strongest 11? If you ask me who I'd want to see out there, I could easily give you an 11, easily, because we're not spoilt for choice like that. That's why it's kind of surprising that they failed to, maybe come up with a team. Because I think we're not spoilt for choice. If you ask me who I want to see, easy 11. Yeah. If you ask me strongest 11, there is no strongest 11 yet. Yeah. We're yet to find out who the strongest 11 are.
How many? You could feel about 3 positions, couldn't you, to say strongest? And you can say like Xhaka and them, but that's about it.
Xhaka. Yeah, like there's a few players in there that Yeah,
because Chris Hudson
have cemented their positions down in a sense.
Chris Hudson even chose Ramsdale straight away.
And I get that too, because if you ask me the one I'd like to see going into Norwich, even though Leno had a good game against, I say good game. It's mad to say that with a 5-0 loss against Man City, but he made about 4 or 5 saves.
It could have been 10.
It could have been mad. I just feel like if Leno hasn't signed a new contract in his last 2 years and the club are thinking ahead of him in terms of the Ramsdale becoming our most expensive keeper, a big summer signing,
that becomes smart business though. If they looking to get rid of Leno or Leno's looking to leave, depending on when they kind of make the changeover.
Well, it's better to get your replacement in before that's being proactive. So if that's what they've done, well done. Mm-hmm. Number one, it's well done on being proactive. But number two, we'll see if it was the right decision in Ramsdale. We'll see. And number three, we'll see how it happens. I think it should happen immediately because number one, that could tell Leno that listen, either you sign a new contract and you continue as number one and you battle it out with Ramsdale, or we've already replaced you. You're going to be back up for the rest of the season, and we sell you on in the summer or January or whatever we need to do. I don't want to be starting next season having sold Leno and then being told that new goalkeeper coming in Ramsdale and the defense have to get used to him. Let's all get used to each other now.
Is Leno's stock high right now? Like, do you think if he goes that obviously towards
it's one of the highest at the club, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. I do agree with that.
Probably get 20.
You must be able to get 24. It's hard, isn't it?
It is hard. It is hard because the market is mad.
It is crazy. I want to say 20 because if we're getting Ramsdale at 24 plus 6 add-ons, you want to say Leno's even close to 30, but realistically, will that happen? Will Arsenal even get that sort of business over the line and make it worthwhile?
Especially if you're like, I think next summer he'll be in his last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, it'll be 15, 20 then. Let's be honest, it'll probably be 17 mil rising to 20.
People are saying
it'll be something like that.
People are saying 28 million. Elenano's season says 28.
Too much.
Anderson says 24.
1 year to go. It'll be difficult.
GC.
Difficult.
Interesting.
Karan says take Vieira if he has a decent stint at Palace, and I wouldn't wish this job on Vieira right now.
Nah.
He's a club legend, so at the moment we got bigger fish to fry at the club before we can kind of put legends in the places to be able to have change. That's my opinion. I wouldn't want to see Henry or Vieira.
That's what I was about to say. People were saying Henry, but I said there's no way I will let this fan base, if he has a bad run of games or any negativity towards Henry, I couldn't be part of that at all because he's a legend of mine. I don't want him to ruin his legacy by trying to manage this current side. So any of the legends, just allow them. Allow them. Let's just get a proper manager. What's with all these ex-players, bro? Like,
Stress again says, want to hear a joke? Our club captain Xhaka got COVID and refused vaccination. Why do we always land up with irresponsible spoiled characters? He ain't a leader. But on that one, I kind of disagree. I think that with the vaccination thing, it's a choice. And whether he had the vaccination or not,
he hasn't. No,
he would have got COVID if he got it. It's not like the vaccination stops you getting it. You get it, it helps you or whatever that they say it does. So, I disagree there. But in terms of he ain't a leader at the end, I can give you many more examples other than this whole COVID situation why I'd agree with you there.
Yeah. So we obviously, he kind of gave away the news there. That was it. Xhaka's got COVID as well as having a red card, so he was out anyway. That's it. Obviously, COVID. We hope he gets better soon. I hope it's not too bad. He doesn't suffer too much from it. But so Xhaka's going to be out basically for a while.
Well, he's already out for 3 games now.
3 games, yeah.
I believe.
So plus now having COVID. I mean,
he'll recover from COVID before the ban ends.
Yeah, and but I worry about his fitness because if he is bad, I don't know what sort of way that Xhaka is in from COVID. It does affect your respiratory system. You got to be able to come back, do fitness tests. These clubs' fitness tests are a joke nowadays. I don't know if you guys have seen on Sky Sports. Carragher got taken through a signing on. So when you get signed, do your medical, we got taken through basically the test to go through that. That's kind of similar to a fitness test. So hopefully Xhaka comes back, not suffering too bad fitness-wise. I know that sounds mad, but right now we kind of need everyone. We kind of need everyone, really, if I'm completely honest, going into this season. You may disagree, but we need players. Turkish, like it's gonna be a struggle. We're sitting bottom. We're sitting bottom of the league.
Listen, I want to see Partey and Lokonga. Yeah, fair. Though I've got my doubts that they can work together, I'd like to see it because I want to see it. If one of them goes down,
Turkey, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna need someone.
So whatever happens and they go in there, if I'm seeing them to start for Arsenal Football Club, then I'm intrigued about what I'm gonna see. I'd wonder what it's gonna be about, and it's with Xhaka in there. It's pretty much the same old, and we've seen that already in the first 3 games.
True.
There was a moment against Brentford where he picked the ball up from Leno just outside the box and he got caught on it. It's just the 2 players that closed him down failed to, if they hit the ball, it went a bit too far, so they failed to capitalise. On other days we've seen Xhaka lose the ball there and concede a goal. In the 3rd game, he gets a red card. Now, in my day and age, that's a solid tackle. When I was growing up, don't get me wrong, I'd give Xhaka credit for that tackle. Growing up, that was the sort of football I was used to. I love Tony Adams. I respect Roy Keane as a captain. They was all about, the
hard tackles, the physicality,
the tough side of it.
Yeah.
It was a big part of football growing up for me. So on that side, I get it. But Xhaka is 28. He hasn't learnt from previous mistakes, and he had 2 feet off the ground. Even though he didn't make contact with the player, he had 2 feet off the ground. So already in the first 3 games, we've seen a mistake that could have cost us a goal. That we'll probably see again in the season. That will, and a red card. And people wonder why the contract extension and all of that infuriated a lot of fans.
Yeah. And I'm gonna big you up real quickly because when it happened on the watch long, you did say, wait, I'm not gonna. People are gonna say you got an agenda. People are gonna say that against Xhaka. They're gonna say
the tackle to me is not a problem. If I was the referee there and I looked at that on the screen, I wouldn't have given him a red card because that's the era I come from. But then again, they have a rule book and all of that, so maybe the rules indicate what it really is.
It was serious dangerous play. It was.
It is what it is. My thing is, he's experienced enough to know that 2 feet off the ground can more often than not equal a red card. And 2-0 down at Man City in the first half, come on. I know someone came out and said I think Alan Shearer said he bottled it. I don't think he bottled it. I think it's just...
Who bottled it?
Alan Shearer said Xhaka bottled it in terms of he didn't want to be out on the pitch. He didn't care.
That does happen in football.
But I don't see it as that. I just see it as...
It's the same old. It's reckless.
Yeah, what do you call it?
It's stupidity, in my opinion.
So it's just silly. How many times are you going to be caught up in the same thing?
Do you think it was frustration that they were 2-0 down as well? Or do you think
you can be frustrated and you can put in a tough tackle? Like Mari did one in the back of Lukaku when we was a goal or 2 down.
I thought that was stupid
and he got a yellow card. But Lukaku was running him and Holding ragged, and I think a tough tackle here and there isn't that bad of a thing. I think it's part of football as well.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It shouldn't completely be erased from the game. So I just think that it's a way to do it, and it's a smart way to approach it. And Xhaka just doesn't do that.
Yeah, he doesn't do the smart way.
It's just it was typical.
Yeah,
it was just typical.
Yeah, we wasn't surprised. Like many other times, we weren't surprised. We were angry at first and was like, do you know what? It's going to happen in this season with Xhaka. We've seen it so much. We saw it so much last season and in his career. He's the most disciplined, definitely not disciplined.
Most red cards since he came, or something like that.
I think that's in the Premier League as well. Arsenal, in Arsenal's history, one of the two. It's terrible. I got some more news, but I know some super chats.
I got a couple super chats here. Saeem says, we beat Brentford's reserves 4-0. Can we do it against Burnley away, who gave Liverpool a tough time? Well, they gave us a tough time last season too. The only and good old, who we just talked about, Granit Xhaka, was a key part of those games against Burnley last season. The only brace Cedric will get that game will be after losing some teeth against their strikers.
Jeez Louise.
What, do we think that Cedric starts? I don't even know what's going on with the right back situation. We'll see though. We got another one here from Victor. Says, big up Sesu and Turkish. We need to spend another 150 million again. Squad not good enough to challenge. We will not challenge for another 5 years, which is embarrassing. This is Arsenal Football Club. Champions League football is Arsenal's standards. And I know what you mean there. It's not our standards now, but it should be the standard.
Yeah, facts.
One more from Stress as well. The difference between a rebel and a prick is less.
It's very less. I don't know.
COVID is sensitive topic, but he is a professional player and needs to take care of his health. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
To be fair, the players don't have to be double vaxxed.
To be honest, I don't know why it was even announced, if I'm honest. And look, this is me backing Granit Xhaka. I actually don't know why it was announced. Why do you have to tell people he wasn't jabbed? At the end of the day, he can get COVID whether he was jabbed or not jabbed. So why are you telling everyone he's not been jabbed? What does that really?
They're pushing that narrative as well.
It doesn't change anything, So just say he's got COVID and that's it.
And just move on.
So does that mean that anyone else that comes out like Ben White? So that means he must be jabbed because they haven't announced that he would, or was it just the Switzerland's? Who was it that announced it anyway?
I don't even know.
They shouldn't have done that. If I'm honest, at the end of the day, it's a personal decision. And
do you think we've suffered the most from?
Yes,
from
lucky
COVID,
you said that.
Because let's be honest, I'm not. This is not an excuse. I understand where we're at, but let's go through it. Aubameyang's had COVID. Lacazette, Ben White, Willian, Xhaka. I think Pepe was ill. I don't know if he had COVID as well, but a lot of key players have suffered from it, and
it doesn't make sense.
More than most clubs in the Premier League. I don't know many other clubs that had suffered it this bad from their key players.
Yeah. So who did you just say? It was Ober and Laka first game, and then it was Ben White, and then Willian was there as well, and there was one more player in and around there.
Yeah, there was one more.
Now it's Xhaka, so that's like 6 players, let's say. I haven't seen other clubs go through that, so it just makes me wonder why or what it is, and why is it us again? Like, why can't we just go under the radar with something? Like, why are we always in the forefront of all of the banned headlines, the news, negative headlines, the
unavailability of players?
Yeah, it's just everything is just,
and it makes it hard for us as fans because as much as I don't think Arteta is right for this role. It's unfair for me to be like, he hasn't had his full squad. It's unfair for me to be like, get him out right now. And like I said, I don't think he's the right man, but I do want to see him have everyone available, everyone fit, and see if he actually has a style of play and all this stuff that Pep talks about, how much of a genius manager he is. I want to see that. So I think it's unfair. People are saying Runnison as well, that got COVID as well. So yeah, listen, there's been a lot of players, and I think it is unfair. It is unfair for us to really, really judge, and we have suffered from these players being out. Massively.
Nah, you know me, I'm judging. I don't business, man. Like fair was letting him get away with November, I guess, because he gave us the FA Cup. That was fair. All right, you gave us the FA Cup. You've gone through some mad form that in reality, I'm surprised the FA Cup even saved it. But, okay, if you want me to be fair, the FA Cup, the terrible run in November, December.
It was awful. After December, we
equal each other out
a little bit, and then we
have the Europa League semi-final. And fair then would have been, see you later.
No. I was angry at the FA Cup game where we got knocked out.
Southampton.
Yeah,
the weekend team.
He made that 6 or 7 changes. That's where I drew the line. But then, the Europa League, boy, that was a dark day for us as fans. But I just think, like you just said there, many other teams I don't believe have suffered from all this unavailability as much as we have. I might be wrong, but I'm sure I don't know many players key players for other clubs. And if they have got key players out, they have like-for-like swaps or substitutes for that. We don't We definitely don't have that. We're far from that. I was going to move on to some news. I know thank you everyone for the super chats as well. They're flying in. I was going to talk about Tomiyasu quickly. Arteta opens up about Tomiyasu and he gives his thoughts. Mikel Arteta has been speaking about clinching the signing of Takehiro Tomiyasu on deadline day. So I'm going to give you some of his comments. And on this, if I see Bellerin play or start, he probably won't, but if I do, I'm going to be singing "We Need a Hero." That's going to be my man Sue. I need a hero. So anyone that's in the ground, I'll probably be in there. That's going to be my chance. So make sure you lot are singing that with me, because boy, I want to see him play. I need to judge him. I think it's only right to as well.
That's fair, yeah. Because listen, that Sky Sports clip annoyed me. Of that Cave guy.
Oh, saying that
guy annoyed me.
What position does he play? I heard he doesn't play as centre back or right back.
Online already, there's a lot of banter about Arsenal for then this guy to go and take another shot. You know,
we get criticised for doing that sort of stuff. That's sort of like having a joke. We get criticised for being negative and whatnot, but then there's the big productions that do it. The big Sky. It annoyed me as well. They're fine.
No, but it was just to me, it was just I don't believe him. I don't believe him.
Okay.
That's my thing with it, and I just feel like he just done it because it's fashionable. Is that the word to do?
Yeah, it's fashionable to joke on Arsenal. Yeah, right now. Yeah, no, I agree.
That one pissed me off because it's and people look at them as the reputable source of information and knowledge and whatnot.
Yeah.
And when you got him saying that he's not really a centre back or a right back, what are you talking about? Because even the people I see that watch Serie A and information I've got through about him, they've said he's played a lot of games at right back and a few at centre back.
Yeah. And in the defensive midfield, but he plays predominantly right back. I did some research on him and he looks really good. He's good both feet, predominantly right footed, but he looks really good with his left as well. I saw him score a screamer. I know it's only highlights and clips, but yeah, he was playing right back.
On the flip side, we don't do that as well. We don't, look into clips too much.
Yeah, we don't.
We delve into it, we look, but that's it. You give a man a fair chance. Is Tomiyasu part of the reason for Arsenal's decline over the past 10 years? He isn't.
No, not at all. But you can't go on Sky like you said there and just make up and say, I haven't heard. He doesn't play any of those positions. That's nonsense.
Yeah.
That's nonsense. So anyway, here's some comments on him from Arteta. He said, we followed him for a while. We needed a full-back who could be very versatile, can play as a centre-back, can play in a back three. Tommy has this capacity. He's 22 years old, but he has some really good experience with qualities we are looking for. He speaks highly of him. I think that's what you're supposed to as a manager, just bring a new signing. But the thing I found interesting is we followed him for a while.
Is that what he said?
Do you believe that?
No, I don't, because when Tottenham were interested in him, then if you followed him for a while, then surely you go in for him. Or if you're looking at him and you've got a target ahead of him, then surely you offer for that target to see if you can. And then if he's your backup target, then cool. So it doesn't really make sense what you said there, but more PR. Did it make sense when Willian came here and said, yeah, we're going to win the Champions League in free? It didn't. But let's separate the bullshit from the reality here. And anytime there's a new signing, everyone comes out. Arteta, Edu, even Kroenke sometimes with the new contract in Xhaka. And they'll paint a rosy picture. They'll say some good things and that's it. But when we're losing the first 3 games of the season, our manager's, neck is on the line. We don't hear from them about none of that. So I'll just separate the bullshit from the reality. Don't bullshit me and say we've been looking at him for a long time. The reality is, you managed to get him in on the last couple of days of the window because you realised how much we needed it.
Yeah. So do you think it was a panic buy then? Or not?
In a sense, it probably was. But a panic buy doesn't necessarily mean bad.
No, it doesn't. We're not saying that. We're not saying that. But it's just.
I feel like it does seem like that because he was not nearly, but there were strong links to Tottenham.
Yeah,
earlier in the window. So again, I'll reiterate: if there's strong links to another club in the same league that you finished above you a few years in a row, and you're interested, then surely you try and go in at that point. Yeah. We didn't do that.
And on top of that, not once did Robbie in his new transfer daily, there's not once he was mentioned as a link at all throughout the whole window. Came out of nowhere.
But I like it because we need a right back. And I hope
it's still good business.
I hope he can make that spot his own. Nick here says, does the prospect of playing a 3-4-3 make you feel optimistic at all? I'd say our best games have come in a 3-4-3 under Arteta. Grasping at straws here. You are, Nick, man.
The final, he's right. We won the cup
but then we started last season 3-4-3 and we was terrible.
All the fans were angry. I remember.
And then we all called for 4 at the back. We all said,
put
Auber up top.
Yeah, I remember.
Didn't work.
Put him up top. Put him on the left. Put him up top. Put Laka and Aubameyang in the same. Yeah, bro. Listen, this club.
Yeah, it's mad. Sweet says this team is depressing to watch, waiting on the sacking. Yeah, it seems inevitable. I'm done with Xhaka. Let's hope Lokonga steps up. Let's hope.
I think he already has.
I hope
personally.
Lokonga and Partey step up enough in the next few games to ensure that even if when Xhaka returns from his suspension and COVID, that he needs to fight or wait for his chance.
He's not going to.
Whoa.
He's not going to. Arteta won't.
I guarantee
Arteta will not keep him out of the side.
That's why I need, Xhaka and Lokonga. If Xhaka and Lokonga start and we go beat Norwich 4-1 and then we go beat Burnley 2-1 away, yeah?
Yeah, that's
yeah?
it.
And then Xhaka's ready for Tottenham, yeah? Because obviously the League Cup is in between them.
Yeah.
If we go do what we need to do against Norwich and Burnley with Lokonga and Partey in the middle, then Lokonga and Partey start against Tottenham. And if Arteta changes that, and then we fall at Tottenham or we don't do what we want to do at Tottenham against Tottenham, then again big problems. But what is big problems to Arteta? He's been in big problems before and he's come out the back end. So I just think Lokonga and Partey can make it very difficult for Arteta in the next couple of games to re-pick Xhaka. So let's hope that happens. Let's hope.
I still think it's going to be difficult. I think Xhaka stays a favourite for Arteta. Same when I was questioning on everyone was why Bellerin was in the side at one stage. And in the interview, he come out saying we have a special relationship, blah, blah, blah. And he was playing. Obviously, we haven't seen Bellerin of recent because he said he doesn't want to play for us anymore. He wants to move. But Xhaka, I think, for some reason, he's first on that team sheet for Arteta. I don't know why. That's no offence. No offence to Xhaka. But yeah, I think Arteta really, really trusts in him. I think that's the way he actually... And that's for managers, that's really what you need as a player is as long as you trust me, then I know I'm going to be picked, and that's when you know you're going to play. But I feel like that's what Arteta does for Xhaka. And I don't know why, because he's let him down so many times with red cards, the inability to really get the ball forward with speed, slowing down our attacks. I don't know. But, we'll see. We'll see anyway. We'll see.
We'll find out.
This next article, Turkish, this is a very interesting one. I haven't read this yet, so bear with me. The headline, I'm gonna be honest, I got clickbaited. It grabbed me. It says Arteta's role in transfers. Okay, so Ian McGarry has told the Transfer Window podcast that Mikel Arteta had very minimal say over who Arsenal signed this summer. The Gunners had made 6 signings overall and spent way over 150 million, but Arteta might not have had too much to do with them, so it has been claimed. Data analysis has a major part to play in choosing and informing a club of how those players will fit in, Gary said. Last little bit here, I'll be slightly concerned if I was Arteta, not just because Arsenal are bottom, but because he's not had any major influence with regards to recruitment as well, which kind of suggests he's not trusted, or he's been trusted simply by being given players. Now, I don't know the credibility of it basically, but it's very interesting that I don't know what to take of it. If he hasn't been trusted or he hasn't done the signings, and they're right in saying a lot of data nowadays has taken over the game, and they look at things. I remember Mourinho said he doesn't want to look at any stats. He doesn't want the players to wear the vests in training, doesn't want to know how much miles they've covered and all that. He's against all of that. But nowadays, most managers go by that and they see where the weaknesses are in teams. There's loads of sports scientists. There's coaches for everything. Set piece coaches, health, diet. There's everything. Yeah. So I understand that could be a possibility. I'll be interested. I don't know, to get your thoughts on, do you think these are his signings? He had an influence on who he wanted?
I do, I do.
So, yeah.
I think Kia even said the other day that Arteta was the one that wanted Willian. Don't quote me on that. I think that's what I saw. Kia said that Arteta's the one that wanted Willian, and that doesn't mean he wanted all of them, but it kind of indicates that he has some if they made a manager from head coach last summer, surely part of that change in job title and role is more say in transfers. Surely that must be one. So it must be his transfers. And on all of the statistics thing and the data analysts and listen, that to me has been a big part in not ruining football, because football is still very much enjoyable, it's still entertainment.
That's part of it. But
changing football for the worse, massively, in my opinion. I feel like there's too much of it. There's too much of it. Do you put VAR in that as well or not? Or do you put like the new how the game's refereed now, the new rules and all that? Is that part of it, or do you think that's a development in the game that's needed, or is it just A lot of things have aided to that, but I think sports science and the VAR thing is different. I think VAR, if implemented correctly and efficiently, could have even benefited football back in the 90s and early 2000s when I was growing up.
Yeah.
But I just feel like sports science has made it too much of a
What, a stats
athletic
game, a chess game?
It's like athletics in a sense too, where, like, you know, when Walcott first came to us, a lot of people would say that guy should be doing 100 meters and like he's just a runner and stuff like that. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
But now
massively.
football is full of that. You know, football has that in abundance now.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really have the qualities of maybe Bergkamps and Baggios that's just two players. But there's many players and different types of footballers I used to see back in the day that I don't see anymore.
That's interesting.
There was a wide pool of great talent back in the day, and now there's a smaller pot of great.
It's
great
hard.
talent.
It's hard because I know what you're saying. I know that those sort of players that you just mentioned there are magicians, and they have a style of play that you feel like you're not seeing, but there is in there. I think, I don't know, the Fodens, the Jack Grealishes, and all that. They have that sort of. Is that what you're saying, or is it something different? Are you talking something different? They have that sort of flair, that sort of quality. Obviously not at that level
they
yet.
do, but football's also too rigid and doesn't allow. Even if a player has that, it's like the managers don't allow you to express yourself anymore, or like they don't allow you to do what you might do in an instinct. It's all very mathematical and very like.
Yeah, do you think Pepe suffered from that massively? Because I think that's what Pepe struggles with. I don't think he has
a lot of players have struggled with it. A lot of players, you know, that are technically great now, but are not considered up there, would probably excel more back in the day because you was a bit freer in the, you know, definitely in the attacking phase of things. Yeah, there was a lot of structure and defensively back in the day, but in the attack it was very much, you know, counter transition.
No, I agree.
Be a bit free with your choices. Now it's very different. Everything's robotic. The players have to
be at certain
hit
positions,
a certain time on the running machine.
Yep.
They have to, you know, do this, do that. They need to eat this. They can't do that. It's just so robotic now, and I think that's not ruined. Again, I'm not gonna say ruined football because I still enjoy it, but changed it for the worse.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think someone commented saying
flair has died in football. Flair is the word.
Flair.
Who the hell has flair anymore?
No, it's not that anymore. And
Who the hell has it? Neymar?
Someone commented and said we're being old school. I think someone commented up, and I was like, no, it's the truth because
you grew up in a different era.
That's what I was gonna say, and I said I was about to say, like, when the manager said to me, "Go and express yourself." Yeah. I'm not gonna tell you too much.
You don't hear that no more,
bro. Do you know how much I have the best games when I hear that? Now, like you said there, and it starting to filter from academy football. It's like when the keeper gets the ball, you need to be here. You need to be here. The ball needs to go this way. Again, you talk about transitions. Coaches now talk about percentages. The ball needs to be in this half for this amount of time, and in transition we need to attack here. This person, target that player. It's too much to think about.
You go there to open the space for him, and then when his space is open, he will come in, and it's just like, what are you lot doing? Let me just see a bit of freedom out there. And
let him enjoy the game. Let him enjoy football. I think you're right. You're right in that. I'll give you that. You're right in that. All right.
Got some super chats. You're going to need to go through that. I've got one here from Mac because I've lost them and you've got the main page there. But Mac says Maitland-Niles does only want to play midfield. Big Sam said so, and that was the key for him going on loan to West Brom. Why would Sam lie?
I can.
We've heard differently, but what I'm going to say is I don't think Ainsley Maitland-Niles knows what he wants either. I'll be honest. Over the years, it's been chopping and changing. You'll hear quotes where he said himself he hasn't been played in the position he wants to. And now you hear quotes from close people to him that, you know, he would play in that position. I just think that we're too far gone in this situation to be going into another season with not only Maitland-Niles, but a lot of players that have only been on the fringes or it hasn't worked out or, you know, want to leave, evidently, with what he said and play some more games.
I hear that. No, just obviously, because I spoke with someone so close. I think when he went to West Brom, they wanted him to play there as well. It wasn't like he came in and was like, I'm playing midfield and that is it. It wasn't that. Players don't do that anyway, and I'm sure he wouldn't have done that. Yeah. He did express it previously at Arsenal. He said he got asked if he would play in the midfield. He said he'd like to. No, he got asked what's his favourite position. And he said midfield, but he was a fullback at the time. But his preferred position is midfield. But that doesn't mean he was saying, I want to play midfield, I don't want to play right back anymore. For Arsenal Football Club, you should play wherever the manager wants you to play. West Brom had the opening there, he played there. But I know for a fact that he went and spoke to Mikel Arteta and said, I want to fight for that right back position. Again, there is an argument to say you're flip-flopping on, like you say, you don't know where you want to play, like make a decision, just stick to it. But if he said that now, and in training he's playing him in the midfield, you can see why he's confused. Like he's like, when he wants to fight for that right back position. I don't think the midfield position is right for him. If I'm completely honest, I don't think he's good enough right now for that position.
Yeah, another one. Do you guys think that from Aya? Do you guys think that football changing from flair to more athleticism contributed to Wenger's decline? Arsenal knew how to work with flair. We did, but I think we had a good mix under Wenger's best years. It was a good mix. Like Vieira was very athletic.
True. I was gonna say that
Henry, even Perez and Ljungberg would get up and down that pitch.
No, the Invincible team were athletes to the highest of.
But we also had, we had the bad guys in there in a sense too, who aid the quality and flair. It was a great balance. But I do think it had a part to play. But I just saw Wenger after the Invincibles and kind of moving into the new. It was kind of like he went from. Look, even if I just tell you that he went from, let's say, the Petits, Gilbertos, Vieiras in the middle, to the Fabregases, Firminis, Helebs, Rosicki's. Like, he went from a completely different style of the
midfield. I was also going to say, there to that comment as well. Just look at the managers of today. Like the old school managers haven't really lasted, in my opinion. I think Mourinho struggled. These are one of the last batch of like old school managers. I think they've tried to stand the test of time and they haven't. The new style of football, the new way it's played is more benefits to Klopp's, the Tuchel's, the Pep's, because they studied the game. They've moved with the times. I think the game has completely changed from Wenger's era, and I think people saying, would you have Wenger back? He would really struggle, in my opinion, to manage a team at this time in football. In my opinion, so yeah.
No, I agree. Oliver says, everything I'm hearing about football reminds me about American football. Coach has control like they're moving chess pieces. I see similar things. And
that's true.
And, like, when you give players freedom, especially attacking players, they kind of do these things themselves anyway, where even with their freedom, they find a process in a way where, like, I used to see Perez and Ljungberg do the same thing week in, week out, and at the near post, one or the other would get a goal off the back of one or the other not crossing it, but passing it across the ground into the box. I used to see that all the time. Henry, Perez used to work. When you give attacking players freedom and you create a good harmony in that group, they find a pattern. It doesn't have to be drilled into them from above, like robotically. They find it in their own way.
Yeah, this is what frustrates me the most is what are they doing in training? Because I don't know if it's old school. I'm going to be honest, I haven't been to a Premier League club, so I don't know what's being told. But I know for a fact most managers say, okay, this is the style of play up until you get to this point, which is normally the opponent's box or that half. Go and express yourself. Go get a goal. Shoot. Like you can't put in place scoring a goal. I'm sorry, you can't coach like the exact way. I know City, they kind of have a style of play where they go down the wing and they cut it across, but there's other ways that they score goals. I mean, they scored headers against us, so there's other ways that they score goals. You can't coach how exactly the team are going to score a goal. So I don't know what's going on at Arsenal because we haven't scored in the league, and it seems like, yes, we have a lot of possession, but when we get to the opponent's half, we're just clueless. We just move, we tick the ball round, we recycle it, and then it breaks down. So
that word, like over tactical or
overcoached.
Yeah, you hear that a lot now, and I think that is the truth of a lot of it. I think there's overcoaching there. In a lot of clubs, not just Arsenal Football Club. I think, Arteta overcoaches because as much as sometimes you see maybe the playing out the back clips that look good and might not finish well because someone lets it down somewhere, but it gives you a glimpse of what you might want. But in reality, if you see it work once or twice over the span of 10 games, that's not good enough.
No, it's not.
It should be working numerous times in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't kid ourselves to think, little shining lights like that is a indicator of the future. I just think it's sometimes you play out the back. Sometimes, 9 times out of 10, it seems like we'll lose it playing at the back. But that one time that we don't, it looks great, and then everyone thinks that is a sign of things to come. But
which is a mad way of thinking, don't you think?
Yeah, because the players, it's just too drilled into them. Like I get the drilling of coming back, being in shape, defending, and the defensive drill. I get that. But on the attack, it's just like, come on, football is football now. Oz says Kroenke has defeated the fans. We have lost our heart, love.
Facts.
However you want to see it.
That's what it is. It's been killing us. 5,000 people in here, guys. Make sure you hit the like. Me and Turkish in the building. You know what time it is.
We're not even on 1,000 likes, people. Get up to 1,000 likes. Let's do this, man. I love 450 likes.
And it just flies up. Come on, people. It's simple.
I ain't been on with Cecil for a little while, so.
Trust, it's been a while.
Let's go through the super chats because you've got a few there.
So we've got here. these ones. Suresh, you read this one? Media haven't.
No, I haven't read that one. No.
Okay, cool. So, do you guys think? Okay, cool. So Suresh says in a super chat, media having a go as we spent 150 million but improved nothing and bought talented kids. I'm sorry, Odegaard and Emile Smith-Rowe are great squad players, but not first team. We're Arsenal FC. That's a big statement.
Odegaard and Emile Smith-Rowe are not
great squad players, but not first team.
Potentially, and I know what you mean about.
I think he's thinking of
we're Arsenal Football Club.
That's why.
But I also think Odegaard and Emile Smith-Rowe are probably an upgrade on what we've seen over the last few years, and you've got to take. We've gone so far down, that we can't anymore fix it with 1 or 2 signings or 3 signings. You know that old thing like, oh, we're only 3 signings away from being a great team. We're only 2 away. If we do this and we do that, we can do something. We're so far off that now. So as much as, okay, Odegaard and Smith-Rowe wouldn't get a sniff in the great Arsenal sides, I agree with that. I think that, in all honesty, we are where we are.
Look at that comment there. You can just read that to yourself. And Shresh, just quickly on that as well. If Odegaard and Smith-Rowe are squad players, what are our first team players? What are Xhakas? What are Elnenys? I know what he's saying. We're Arsenal, but what are the other players then? What was Rob Holding? What's Chambers? So what are they? If Emile Smith-Rowe and Odegaard aren't first team players for Arsenal, what are they?
Yeah, we want the superstars, but we can't get the superstars.
Right.
So we're gonna have to get players that can maybe get us back into a position where we can sign superstars.
Yeah, imagine you being a footballer and Arsenal come in for you, okay? But you don't support Arsenal, but imagine where you are right now. Like, you look at Arsenal, they're bottom of the league. There's a manager who's inexperienced. You can't name me a player that's improved under Arteta. You as a player, have you got a big name? So you got a big name. Would you want to go to Arsenal?
Depends. Obviously, if a Man City or Liverpool want me, then it's a different story. But if a Tottenham or West Ham want me, then it's a very different story.
Yeah, but that's because of the Arsenal fan in you. But I'm saying if you were detached from the club and the player, like if I was a footballer right now and Arsenal came in for me, Turkish, and I'm looking at them, I'm like, I say, Arsenal came in for me, or another, say Chelsea came in for me as well. You're going to think, this is taken away from me being an Arsenal fan. I'll be thinking, bro, for my career to progress, I'm not going to go Arsenal. Sitting bottom of the league, Arteta's not going to manage me to where I want to be. It looks like a joke in that. Then
again, for young players, it's a platform.
For young players, there's a chance to change the narrative.
Yeah,
but for established players that are coming, not even come to the end of their career, but just established players in general, I think I would say no. Well, you think there's a chance?
Not for established players. Going like, look at Bernardo Silva. It was rumored we was interested, and it was rumored that he wasn't.
Yeah, that phone call got shut down quick.
I think we would get that a lot realistically from, let's say, 25, 26-year-olds looking for the next kind of contract that takes them into winning things. We're not winning things right now, Arsenal Football Club, and we're not going to be winning things in the short term.
Yeah.
So I think for a player going into their prime, the only attraction is London and a bit of money. That is the only attraction. Now, I'm not putting a player down for signing for that, because that's the reality of football now. But what I'm saying is that's the only thing we've got: London and money.
And money is at this. Well, it doesn't always come from the Kroenkes, but right this window we can say that they have spent. But you're right, London is definitely a key factor. I know we got loads of super chats. Thank you everyone for the super chats, because there's still news to get through. I'm trying to just get through it as well. But we're gonna go to Librova. Says, sounds like Ozil suffered from the more athletic change in football styles as well. I'm not 100%. 100%.
Ozil was one of the players that suffered. Yeah, come on, he's not an athlete, Ozil. He's a cultured football player.
Rolls Royce.
Yeah, he's got that old school quality about him.
Yeah, true.
But when football changed to a robotic, system-based, everyone needs to be a perfectly pieced cog to let the whole machine.
And everyone has to work hard and press and
that's slowly but surely when Ozil kind of started falling off as a footballer.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, fair. Oliver says, everything I'm hearing about football reminds me about America. Oh, we said that one, haven't we? Sorry. Russell says, I'd be bold and rather give Ainsley another go in the midfield, in the middle of the park, than see Granit come back into the side. What do we have to lose? Niles over Xhaka?
Listen, it's not going to be good enough, but it's not like I'm saying I'd pick.
Do you know what? It actually depends on the style of play that Arteta wants, because they're two different players and they're two different styles of play, and no one knows what Arteta's style of play is, but they could. I think Maitland-Niles can fit to a certain certain 11.
I can't believe we're
Xhaka.
here again.
I know, but I know.
Talking about Maitland-Niles, though. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's the biggest problem, and that's his problem as well. That's why he's on Insta saying, like, with his crying faces, saying, like, I just want to go and play. Because he feels like us as well. We're going into another season discussing what we're going to do with him, how he's feeling, what position he's going to play in. That's why he had that release on Instagram, because he feels the same way. He's frustrated. I'm frustrated. I think a lot of us are frustrated. I'm tired of it. Because we might be back next season talking about Bellerin moving into the next season, because that's only a loan with no option or obligation. So this thing is just going round and round. Elneny, I thought I was done talking about him. Last 2 years, talking about him again. Kolasinac, I thought I was done talking about him. Here we are, 6 months later, talking about him.
Xhaka was supposed to go to Roma.
Thought we're done talking about him. Here we are again, talking about him. Like, it's just a roundabout of nonsense going on.
You good?
I'm all right, man. Sometimes, I need that. I need that quick release, and we keep it moving.
All right, cool. Oh my God, there's loads of... Okay, Siam J says... in the FPL, we look at players' stats, then use an eye test where we watch them play to spot things. Stats can't tell you. Good managers never favour stats too much. They just look at the player and know. That's what I said earlier. That's what Mourinho said. He says, I don't care about stats. I can tell by looking at them by eye. But, sometimes that also failed for Mourinho as well. Ozef says, Kroenke has defeated. Yeah, you've said that one already. Joe says Obar and Laka are capable strikers. A proper manager will play one of them at the time, and as soon as one underperforms, the other one comes in. Like with Leno upped his game when Martinez competed. Fair point. That is true, but we'll see. We'll get onto that one later. Ozef says Turkish. Is there any way we can organise a protest? How much more will we accept as fans? Why don't we have the bollocks like the Scousers? Protest talk is it's always relevant, but it hasn't been delivered correctly, and that's the problem. There was meant to be a protest before the what game was it? The Chelsea game. Yeah.
There wasn't. The numbers wasn't great enough to even say there was.
It was like 5 man.
And then all of a sudden you see something online saying protest before Norwich, and I just think to myself, like, we can't just all of a sudden, because one thing goes wrong, say protest. We know now everything's wrong. So let's arrange it properly. But then to arrange it properly, we need to come together. And Arsenal fans can't come together. And that is the sticking point. First and foremost, Arsenal fans need to come together. And that's different fans from different groups, different walks of life, different areas of social media, whatever it is. Yeah, I keep on saying this. We ain't got to like each other. We won't like each other at times, but we can align on this subject matter. We can align. I know Wenger and that controversy about in or out caused a lot of division at this club, but let's not make that, we have. The division has continued, chipping away at the club, because the more we're divided as a fan base, we can't protest together. And the more we don't protest together, the more Kroenke sees and says, cool, like, it's not really that much to worry about. Okay, cool. That's one form of protest. That's why I tell people, just stop buying merchandise. Stop buying that. That's a form of a protest too. Maybe stop watching games.
No, I think it's going to the Emirates. Yeah, I think I'm going to the Emirates. I feel like
that's part of it.
That Chelsea game. Remember that they had loads of fans that didn't turn up. They were selling tickets on general release. That rarely ever happens. So
hopefully in a year we'll hear more losses, and hopefully that leads to Kroenke saying, you know what, this is a sinking ship. Let me go.
Yeah,
because he ain't gonna blame himself for this sinking ship.
No, 100% not. Alfred says Wenger would survive. His style was ahead of his time. City is doing what he was doing. Wenger just didn't have the players after the Invincibles. Interesting.
Yeah, whose fault is that? Anyway, people, let's call it a night.
No, wait. There's loads more super chats. Hold on. At football, let me just run through these. Let's call it.
Fam.
That was like, cool, quick. Sorry, people. At Football says.
Because you looked at me, though, innit? So I'm thinking, well, if you want me to wrap it up, I'll wrap it up.
No, I wanted you to. I was gonna say if you agreed with it, but let's carry on. That's funny. Let's call it a night. At Football says, hurt so much staying up till 4 a.m. watching us. 150 million spent, too late. Crap players on mega wages for Wenger era are unsellable. Not even about success, just want to see an identity I can be proud of. That's so important. We can't see anything we can buy into. Lee Dawes says Tomiyasu should be a centre back instead of a right back. Ben White is the worst centre back in the whole team, aerially. Unless we play free at the back, I don't know what's going on. No one does, my guy. Max Chambers says, imagine now buying into the youth project just to see Xhaka and Smith Rowe leave on a free 2023, 2024. Imagine that. If I'm honest, that's one of our fears, and it's probably gonna happen.
We're going through the mud now. Let me not worry about the mud we're about to enter next year.
Trust me. K123 says Arteta pressing is so bad and naive. Liverpool and Chelsea game, they press intensely when they can. Also get very tight when there is danger. Arteta's pressing is so bad, naive. Liverpool and Chelsea game, they press intensely when. Okay, so yeah, this just the pressing tactics are off. Big up J Market for the super chat. There's so many flying in. Tony Tom says, do you feel we have brought in more leadership into the camp despite being young players are captains countries they played for? No. Well,
Odegaard is a leader, but it's not the leadership we need right now.
Yeah. Shrefs replies saying, Sesso in Turkish when Thierry Bergkamp Vieira played for and scored those goals as an Arsenal player. Felt invincible. How should I accept this? Oh, I remember those days. They were superheroes to me. Demetrius says Mikel will be gone with Edu and Vinay regardless of what's going on. I think the next coach will be Conte, Potter, or Jesse Marsch from RB Leipzig. Okay, so that is all I can see right now of the super. I think there's one more.
We're not even on 1,000 likes yet, people. 230 away. Listen, this is overtime for me now. So get it up to 1,000.
Simon says to keep Xhaka and loan Guendouzi is borderline delusional. Yeah, I see a lot of fans wanting for Guendouzi back.
Steve says, to your point, Turkish Wenger not investing wisely to continue to fuel and evolve his style, possibly, other rays that caused his downfall.
Yeah, and also that's down to the Kroenkes as well from not backing him, in my opinion, towards the end. Quickly, last bit of news because this is what we're here for. Partey injury boost. Thomas Partey is due to return after the international break. Woohoo! We need you. Thank God for that. Great news for Arsenal, who have been without the Ghana international since pre-season through injury. So he's looking to make his return. Today's behind closed doors game friendly, though he didn't play because it was too soon for him to be risked. Moving on to today's behind the closed doors game. The news of today, if you guys didn't know, I did not know this, but there was an in-house game against Brentford. We won a game, guys. We won. 4-0. Arsenal beat Brentford 4-0 in a behind closed doors friendly today. Ben White and Gabriel started in defence. Yeah, that's what we want to see. I'm glad that's happened. I expect to see that when we return after this against Norwich. Goals. Cedric scored 2.
Yeah, mad.
So all my Cedric doubters, I don't know, so behind closed doors, Brentford team was probably the reserve, so I'm not going to gas him up too much. So 2 goals from Cedric and a goal from Gabriel Martinelli and Lacazette.
He must have played right wing back, Cedric, then, because apparently we've done a 3-4-3, so right wing back, attacking, cool. Yeah. 2 goals.
Do you know what's mad, yeah? He probably played there, that game, and when we come to Norwich, he won't even be in the squad.
Well, we'll see. We're going to be here talking about it live, so let's see what happens.
I think that's it for all my news today. Actually, I got an email from Arsenal. There's a new kit.
Let's not get that out of here. I knew you was going to bring that here, man, because I got that same email, but I've unsubscribed from that. I don't know why they keep on emailing me. I need to...
The culture wear range, Turkish. You should get some. It'll look good on you, though.
Bro, they bring out nice things, but they don't do nice things on the pitch. That's the problem.
That'll look good on you, man. Nice little blue fit. Look at Aubameyang there. Yeah,
you like that anyway, fashionista. But
no, man, don't wear I'm not wearing none of that. I think that is it. Oh, and lastly, Xhaka. Let's get behind him today. Obviously, England take on Hungary in the international game. Hopefully, I don't know if he's going to be starting. I haven't actually had word of if he's going to be starting, but hopefully he's in the squad. And yeah, let's get behind our boy. I think that's it. for me. Now you can say
that's it for him.
call
Yeah,
it a
you
night.
sure?
Yeah, I'm done.
You
I'm
sure?
done. I'm done. I'm ready. We already can wrap up now, my G.
Say nothing.
Appreciate. Listen,
Say
do we hit
nothing.
1,000 likes? Actually, hold on. I'm not leaving till we hit. You need 100 more likes, people.
Yeah, you lot can hit that as I wrap it up, people. But here's another news daily. We'll be back again tomorrow. I think it's Robbie tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Robbie's here. Probably be me and Rob tomorrow. The Don.
Yeah, Robbie and Cecil tomorrow. Look out for that.
Yeah, it'll be good. The likes are flying up though.
You got something coming out. You had something coming out, innit?
What do you mean?
Inside AFTV.
Oh, inside. Are you gonna? Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
You talked all that talking. You didn't even plug your own thing.
No, guys. I filmed episode 2 of Inside AFTV. It's gonna come out tomorrow morning. Make sure you look out for that. Basically, we spoke about the myths behind AFTV. Robbie answered a lot of them. He took some shots at other channels, and Pippa was with us as well, speaking about her career so far. So make sure you check that out. It's currently live right now. To listen to on all listening platforms. So go listen to the full thing and you'll see the visuals tomorrow morning.
Love.
10, but how many?
Love for
10
the
more
love,
likes.
people.
10 more likes.
Don't worry, it's gonna happen, man. Love for the love, people.
We're getting told we're not going to end the stream until we hit the 1,000. So 2 more likes and we can end the stream. And make sure you go check out the Don Robbie live stream. We're going live for the England vs Hungary game. 7:30. I'll be there because, you know, I live in the studio.
And
it's lit.
And last comment to get in, Josh says, forgot your own show. What a fool. And then he deleted it. I think he wants to get it right.
Useless.
Oh, they timed him out. Rocco, don't time out Josh.
Yeah, don't
One
time
of
out
the mods
Josh.
timed out Josh.
He's been
All right, love for the love, people,
trolling me.
man. We'll be back tomorrow, man. Make sure you guys tune in. Peace.
Peace.